All right, everybody, welcome into episode 2 of your favorite podcast. It's taking over the airwaves. You plus me equals us. 1 and 2 is us. We want to thank y'all so much for that first episode. We kind of expected it to do good, but you guys made it go way better than we ever thought that it would be on the very first episode. So we extend our thank yous and we say thank you for giving us all that support and getting the numbers up. We are doing pretty good here. And so now you can watch this on YouTube. It will be up probably about 2 or 3 days, but make sure you subscribe to that channel. It is on the Coach E Game for All Seasons channel, and you will see the icon with these two faces on it right here. And so you can go ahead and click on it and watch it. We are live right now on Facebook. We are doing Facebook Live for the first 10 minutes or so, just so you can get a little sneak peek and so we can have the chat get real active. So we like interactions with the chat. So if you are on Facebook Live right now, come on, type in the chat. If you have any questions, if you have any topics that you want to hear, if you have a point from last show that you saw and that you wanted to ask us something or tell us something or how it made you feel. So get on here in the chat. Let's get active in the chat. So what you think about your first ever podcast episode? How do you think you did?
I think I did great. I think it was very raw and organic. I got a lot of good feedback from it. Like I said, just being us. Being us.
Well, you want to be more than us, don't you?
What?
Never mind. She doesn't get it.
That totally went over. I don't get it.
Well, if we just us, that means we're just being regular. Us is closed doors, but we're opening up ourselves for the world to see and for the world to interact to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be bigger than us because that means we're helping other people. You don't get it?
But it's still us.
Okay. I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So we have a question for this episode right here. We touched on the blended family situation last episode. We touched on, well, you heard lie about the breaking up part with her story that probably was like 60% true.
Okay.
Then you heard 100% of my truth, which is the best way to do it, the man's truth.
Yeah.
So
Delusional.
no, not delusional at all. Well, Mike Epps did say you got to be delusional. So delusional helps you grow and helps you understand about your dreams and your goals.
Okay. Whatever works for you, honey.
Yeah, so I'll just be
Whatever works
delusional then. I'm comfortable in myself being delusional. So whatever. But I do have a question for you, Miss Sharon, the wifey, and for everybody out there listening and the chat. Once again, hit us up, Facebook Live. It is on the Evan Curry Facebook Live page. So go ahead, get in the chat. Let's get active. But the question is marriage 50-50? I repeat that question. Is marriage 50-50? So let's start with you. What do you think?
I'm going to say it's at different times, it can be 50-50. Once again, going back to last week's episode when I said that there's different seasons of being in a relationship or being in a marriage, I feel like in the beginning, yes, it's 50-50. But when times get hard or you're not at your best, I have to be more than 50-50. So that's kind of I guess that's kind of like I don't know. It depends on your situation, I guess. I feel like, no, it's not 50-50 in certain seasons.
I do agree, but that's one of the biggest myths that a lot of people get caught up on, saying that, yeah, marriage is 50-50. I totally agree with you. It's situational. So let's just give an example. If I come home one day, had a long day, and I know when I leave wherever I just left from, in my head, I'm telling myself I got to have energy when I get home. I can't short her on her time and her energy because we haven't seen each other all day, and she's waiting for me to come home and, be together. So I have to bring that good energy to her and not short her on her time. So I would have to feed off of her energy because I'm dead. Well, not literally dead, but I've been going hard all day. So I would feed off of her energy, which will make it uneven at that point. So if I come home at 30, 40%, she has the other 60% to make that 100. So if I'm 50-50, I would be shorting her because I wouldn't be able to meet her at her level. Does that make sense? Am I
It
explaining
makes
that
sense,
right?
but also it's also like I always say, like seasonal. So like, when we same for me, I guess. When I would come home from work, I have to. There's times, and I'm gonna just be so transparent right here. Like I come home from work, I pull in the driveway. Sometimes I sit in the driveway for about 10 minutes because I'm taking off one hat, putting on another. Because like you said, I got to come in here and give basically my all. And I don't. I'm kind of at a loss for words for that.
Well, as far as what?
Just go back to the question. I'm having a total brain.
Yeah, so meeting each other at the lowest. So if I come in low with low vibrations and low
Oh
energy,
yeah, it's my responsibility to
get me up to that
Yeah.
level. But it's my responsibility to feed off of your energy that you're giving me, because you knowing me in the situation and me personally, you know that I'm coming home from a hard day and I'm going to be just a little bit down.
But I would want you to talk about why though. And that's the thing that we've worked on as well, is talking about why. Like we don't necessarily come in and say like, well, how was your day? We just kind of like throughout the day kind of talk about our day. And if something has bothered you, I make sure that I'm going to address that when you walk in the door, and to reassure you that, I know you gave it your all, your best, especially with everything that you do as far as coaching, driving, and just dealing with the youth period. That can be draining.
But I'm not saying that I would be down as far like depressed or sad or nothing.
Just low energy.
Yeah, low energy. So I would feed off of your energy. So I don't want people out there to think that that's so much on her to be like, oh, well, I need to bring him up. It's just a thing that, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It's a thing that from your partner, from being around them so much when one is down, because when she comes home sometimes, or when she's in her mood sometimes, I can feel that she's in a mood. It's a certain feeling that takes over.
It's called hormones, guys. It's called hormones.
I mean, hormones, schmormones, whatever. But I can just feel that she's in a mood, and I can kind of like say, all right, what's wrong? And if she gives me that answer, the answer that ladies say all the time, ain't nothing wrong with me, I'm fine. No, you're not fine. I can feel when you're not fine. I know you're not fine right now. You're just telling me that to try and move on with the conversation.
Sometimes we can't verbalize it. And and I see we got some ladies in the chat. And if you guys agree with me or disagree, just let me know. But I feel like sometimes we can't verbalize it. Like there may sometimes be a feeling where, like I said, I'm drained. My brain is going 1,000 miles an hour. I got to make sure when I come home, dinner's ready. I got to make sure I'm still a mom. I got to make sure that, being a wife, taking care of the dog. Like, so my mind is all over the place. But sometimes I can't verbalize what I actually feel. Does that even make sense?
Yeah, it does. But you should still be able to say, at least give me like a basis. You don't have to give me the exact problem. Just say, you know what? Yeah, it is something wrong. And then try to go from there instead of thinking that I need an explanation immediately. Just the fact that you would tell me that is something wrong, I can totally understand it and then act accordingly, so I don't add on to it, or so I don't pile onto it and make the situation worse or your mood worse. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do. And this is one of the things I actually wanted to talk about as well, is trying to do that. As men and women, we speak two different languages.
Yeah, totally.
Two totally different languages. So like I said, there's times where I can't actually verbalize to you what I'm feeling, because the way I'm feeling, I can say it to you, you're going to take it the total wrong way. And then that will start a disagreement.
I don't think that. See, this is the different languages right now. I'm speaking Mandarin and she's speaking German right now. So I don't think that's the thing. I think that's the perception between men and women. So if I say this like this, he's not going to understand what I'm saying. Just give it a try to see, instead of already coming to that conclusion, like, yeah, he's not going to understand. We really might. So just throw it out there and see.
90% of the time, y'all don't. And I feel like y'all have to tiptoe around certain stuff. What is BC in here saying?
We got BC. What up, BC, on here saying, y'all want us to guess and be mind readers. 100%. And not really that. They want us to understand without saying. I guess that is kind of right what you're saying, mind readers, but they want us to understand without them saying what's really wrong.
No, it's speak our language. That's all I'm asking. If you can't speak it, study it enough where you can translate a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so how am I supposed to translate when you don't say anything?
From
when you
experience.
Say, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, right. So that's the experience of me knowing that it's something wrong and saying, okay, you saying there's nothing wrong, but I know and I feel there's something wrong. So that's me trying to speak your language, literally what you're saying.
Once again, y'all, we're giving it to you raw and uncut. So we got some more in the chat here.
And we got cousin Charlene Thurman. What up, cuz? I agree. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm in a mood and just don't want to put you in a mood.
Yes.
And my mind is going 1,000 miles per minute.
Yes. Once again, because we speak two different languages, so it is hard to verbalize what we're feeling. Now, if I'm pissed off, I'm going to be like, listen, I'm having a bad day. I'm pissed off. I can verbalize that. But like she said, having 1,000 things running through your head, and not to take away from what y'all got to do. Like I said, I come home, I got to take off that work hat. I have to put on my mom hat. I got to put on my wife hat.
So my thing was, you said you got to do a lot and put all those hats on. Mm-hmm. So I do as well. That doesn't mean
never said you didn't.
Yeah, no, and I never said you didn't. Mm-hmm. You chose to go through all those things, so that's why I'm giving you all of my things. This is not a tit for tat. This is a conversation.
We got another woman in here speaking the truth, I'm pretty sure.
Let's go, Jamaica. I agree with her. Clearly, you would say that. If you have been around each other long enough, you should be able to see. You should be able to see it and just go with us and give us space for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that, Jamaica. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. So that is the communication part. Okay, I need a minute. Then we'll talk about it. I'll give you all the space you need. So I'm not supposed to say anything. I'm just supposed to immediately give space. Yes. And that can come across as if I'm coming home and ignoring you after the long day of us not seeing each other. What up, Monty?
No, that's, I don't know. I could go on for hours with this because
let's please. We got hours.
Y'all are never going to see it in the way that we just, two women just explained it, three, including myself.
To who?
Pardon?
To who? Women?
Yes.
Yeah, so of course they're not going to see it the way that I'm saying it. Okay. They're just not. Because why? You just said they agree with you because they're women. And that's not a sexist comment whatsoever. It's just the truth. That goes back to the language thing. It is. It's a language barrier between men and women. And back to that marriage thing, that's going to be a hard thing because you're so used to when you're courting, as the old people say, and that you're dating, it's hard for you to switch if you're one of those people that were not the same when y'all started dating to marriage. So you have to get your husband hat on and step into that role. And then now it's totally different language because she's going to be like, wait a minute, you ain't never act like this. You ain't never said nothing like this. So now that's why I go back to my point from episode 1. You got to be the same person from day one so you don't have to go through another barrier.
No, I don't think you need to be the same person. You're not the same person you were when we first started dating. I'm not the same person.
No, as far as personality.
Oh, meaning within the marriage or?
Within the marriage and with you. Mm-hmm. With you, the person. With you, the person, my personality has never changed. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know how to go emotionally with you in certain situations. Mm-hmm. I know how to cater to you in certain situations. I know how to, what Jamaica said, leave you alone in certain situations. Mm-hmm. But my personality has never changed. You've never got to the point where we had a disagreement or where we're at happy times or just a regular situation where you said, that's not you. You're totally different. You've never said that. If you have, let me know. Mm-mm. But that's what I'm talking about, just being the same with that. Not emotionally, because your emotions are going to have to change because emotions is what? Energy and motion. So that is going to change with every situation and with every conversation. So I'm not talking about that part. I'm just talking about the personality where when your behavior changes, that's when you start second guessing like, whoa, wait a minute. You've never done that before. Why are you doing this now? And that can come off as disrespect. That's what I'm talking about.
How would that? Okay. Like I said, we can go on for hours with this because it just is a back and forth thing. What is Byron?
And we are fixers. This is from BC, Byron Clayton. And we are fixers. We want to help as much as possible. It's that double dutch between let her be and step in and help. That's the guessing that we constantly are trying to figure out.
Y'all doing that to yourselves. Like, y'all feel like y'all have to tiptoe. That how can women ladies, help me out here. Like, I feel like y'all feel, we never tell y'all, this is a fine line, you got to walk it. That's really what y'all do to yourselves. It's really not that hard. It's really not that hard.
Well, it's not that it's that hard. We try to take the least confrontational role as possible. So why would we add on to whatever you're feeling? And it can be misconstrued as a certain way. And then now the problem is blown up so much bigger than the way it started. Do you see what I'm saying?
Why would it be blown up bigger?
Because the way we think we're helping, y'all may not perceive it as help.
Like I said, y'all make it so hard.
No, it's
in my mind, this is really how all of y'all think. Like, there's so many things that go on in your head that I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Jamaica's still going because you should not have to guess. But if you are in a relationship and you know she's always cooking, just cook and surprise her.
Period.
I mean,
I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying I hear from some of my married friends that is not a thing. Now, I can't say it about my man because my man will grill in second. Anybody that knows us knows Evan will cook. But I hear that a lot. I
mean, I understand that. But once again, there is the language barrier. And Ashley, I don't need you saying all this yes and everything like that. Relax.
No, yes,
Relax,
yes,
please.
Yes.
No, don't clock that.
Yes.
Delete that, okay? But all I'm saying is we have to, just like Byron was saying, and you know all the time I don't agree with Byron. Byron does his own thing at times. It
sounds like you're doing it now. But
no. I'm just saying, because we've had that disagreement in certain conversations when we are talking. So I'm like, okay, I want to say this, but I don't want to say this. Because when I have said it in previous times or in other situations, it takes it from 0 to 100 really fast. And then when you get to 100, I'm so confused, like, whoa, you just took that to 100 and I was not even trying to do that. I was just trying to help you, in my opinion, in the way that I thought that I was helping, but it totally went the other way. So that's what we mean by guessing. So if I'm thinking that I'm helping, yeah, and it goes totally different than what I thought it was going to go from my help, that's where the guessing game is. That's what we're talking about.
So that, to me, is once again going back to not understanding my language. And being a woman, we are such emotional creatures that, like I said before, sometimes it's hard for us to sit and actually verbalize what we're feeling. So I feel at times, how can I even say it to make it make sense? I don't want to say you should know because we've been married for so long. Ladies, help me out because I'm really not trying to, I can't verbalize what I'm trying to say. I can't verbalize what I'm trying to say.
So that is my point. You can't verbalize what you're trying to say. So that's when, if we're in a disagreement or if you're trying to say you need the space, that's where the confusion comes in. If you can't tell me what you're trying to say, you can't verbalize it. Do you want to be left alone or do you want help in the situation? That's the guessing game. So if I choose to leave you alone in that situation, you can take it as if I'm not supporting you. Or exactly. If I try to help, I could be trying to help in the wrong way, and then that can be misconstrued. So once again, we're back to that guessing game. That's my point.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one.
I'm not even trying to win. No, I'm just saying that's the way the male brain is. I'm telling you, men, y'all have to understand we are basic bitches.
Jeez.
Sorry, we just are. You don't have to go far and be like, oh, okay, I got to do this. No, keep it as simple as possible because we are as simple as possible. But the minute we step out of our simple box, that's trying to please y'all. That's the only time men get out of the simple box, trying to either impress or please the woman. So other than that, just understand we are literally in a box, a Payless shoe box, size 4 in kids. That's how small that box is. That's how basic we are.
I feel like in certain situations that can be taken as an emotional disconnection. Did you see that as being that, like,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, are you giving me what I need? Are you sensitive to my needs. And once again, I feel like being married for so long, you should study your significant other. Not in a sense where I'm just really lost for words today.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I should study you to know what mood you're in, what behaviors come with that mood. And if you can't verbalize it, I should know that mood that you're in because you can't verbalize it. It's sadness, happiness, frustration, anger.
And sometimes all of the above in one.
Right. So at that point, how do men approach that and try to help without going too far?
Having those conversations. So say that happens and everybody calms down and cools down. I feel like the next day or 2 days or 3 days, sit down and have an actual conversation about, not everybody's got a calm head. You know, once we can verbalize, I was feeling like A, B, and C. Okay, honey, well, how can I help you with A? How can I help you with B? How can I help you with C? That to me that's when that disconnection is no longer emotionally.
So you said a couple days in between.
I mean, for me, I'm speaking for me. I know when I get upset, I can't, and you're kind of the same way. I don't want to talk about it an hour later because I'm still hot. I don't want to talk about it. Give me a couple days to just kind of wrap my mind around what just occurred.
Yeah.
And then sit down and have that conversation and say, okay, you did A that made me feel like B.
So that's my question. Well, not my question, but my statement to that. So if you need a couple days to cool down and think about it or whatever.
I agree, Ash.
Communication is key, Ash. You're right about that. But if you need that time to cool down and it's been a couple days, go back to the simple man box. We're thinking, oh, she cool. She's over it. Everything's fine. So we don't want to bring that up because those emotions and those feelings might come back if we bring it up. And then now we're doing the same snowball.
There's a way to do it. There's a way to approach it.
But and that is the point of this conversation. And speaking of this conversation, we are about to log off of Facebook Live, and we will continue this conversation on the episode, which you will and need to be watching on YouTube. Like I said, Saturday will be a great day. Go to YouTube, Coach E Game for All Seasons, and you will see these two faces so you can get on and watch. So we are logging off of Facebook Live. Appreciate you, chat. Y'all did way better this week than you did last week. I appreciate every single one of y'all.
We'll see you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday, 7:30. Chat, come on. See you. So back to what we were saying. That's the part where we need help in communication and with direction so we can know where to step in, where to step out, where to step in, where to step out,
so like
and how to step
y'all
in.
Feel like
y'all
double dutching and walking a tight line.
That's the New York City double dutch.
Like I just think that's a man thing. So I can't even really help.
It is. That's why we're saying it.
I can't help you with trying to,
But you can, because you can tell me how you think it will help you and how you think it will help others. Because y'all was just on the same page. Pretty much all the women that was on the chat, y'all was pretty much on the same page with y'all's answers. So that could help other men listening to you, because just like coaching, sometimes you tired of hearing your coach say the same thing. If somebody else from outside say
you'll
it,
receive
you'll receive
totally
it better.
Differently.
So that's why I'm saying help other men understand how to approach it.
It depends on their situation. It depends on the female. So that's actually a hard thing to do. All I can say is, like I said before, know the person you're with, try to understand them emotionally, and ask those questions. Like I said, if you have a disagreement one day, wait a couple days. Okay, babe, let's sit down and, are you fine with talking about what occurred the other day? And if she's still not ready or he's not ready, okay, that's fine. But you eventually you have to come to discussing it to figure out, you know what I mean? Like, the situation. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it depends on the situation. It depends on the circumstances as well.
Yeah, I guess. But that's kind of like how when you asked me about the blended family, when I didn't really have advice, I said it goes by situation to situation. So I guess that's the same thing. I can accept that. But I think I'm speaking for majority of the men we always want to keep problems to a minimum. We don't want to, if it's a problem, we don't want to rehash it to bring it back up. I'm not saying that we don't want to talk about it to even out the problem, but this may sound weird or like not what you want to hear, but we'll rather y'all approach us like, hey, remember the other day when I was feeling like this, or remember the other day I had that attitude? We would rather that happen so we can listen and absorb it instead of us, like I said, not knowing how to approach you those couple days afterwards and bring the subject up without, I guess you can call it PTSD, because plenty of men has been in relationships before the long one and tried to rehash and try to fix a situation where it went wrong. And we're not saying that all women are the same. And if I bring it up to you, you're going to do just like my ex. But that's the hesitation part. So I think it'll be a whole lot easier, because if you couldn't verbalize it to me those couple days ago, you should be able to verbalize it to me now. So I think it'll be easier if you approach me with it, and then we can iron it out like that. Does that even make sense? Or is that kind of selfish?
I wouldn't say selfish. It makes sense. I wouldn't say selfish. It's just, like I said, I think y'all think so hard about it
Yeah, we
that
do.
you confuse yourself.
Yeah, and that may be true. But the thing is, the reason why we do it, because we don't want confrontation with the significant other. So we're going to overthink it. It can probably be the easiest answer of all time, but we're going to overthink it because we don't want that confrontation.
Neither do women.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you do, but in that situation, because we talked about the woman being in the mood and saying they can't verbalize it. So with that situation, we don't want to rehash it.
No, it makes sense. Like I said, we can talk about this for hours and agree to disagree and all of that. Like I said, in my opinion, it depends on the situation. But there was something that I did want to talk about that I was actually scrolling the other day, and I came upon Keke Palmer, who actually I really like Keke Palmer, especially she has a new shortcut she got going on. I love it. But she was on, I don't think it was The View. It looked like the ladies that were on The View. And she was talking about how she wants to be married, but she wants to live separately. And I clutched my pearls because my mind can't wrap around that. What is your take on that? You want to be married, but living separately?
I totally disagree with that. I don't see how that can be a goal of yours, to be married, but still have a separate house from your loved one or your significant other. That makes no sense to me. I totally don't agree with it. And I need somebody that wants that lifestyle or actually lives that lifestyle to help me understand that. And it's going to take a whole lot of help, because whatever you say, I'm going to have a question to it.
Yeah.
And will I need my own space? You could
so
still
why get
have
married?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So why get married? Like, if that's the case, just continue to date. And what she was basically saying was she wants her space. You can have your space. I feel like being married, we have, and that is important, being married and having your own space.
Yeah.
Or own, I don't want to say space in that sense, but having your own time, I guess. Time to yourself, should I say?
I mean, time and space is pretty much essentially the same thing, because you was just talking about you need space to get away from your feelings because you can't verbalize it. You need that space. We're in the same house, so that space can still be given. But that I think that's just a cover up to use that to try to help that narrative of the separate households.
Which I just don't understand. And the way she was saying it was like, I want to be able to, when I want to leave him, I want to go to my own space, or I want to be able to visit when I want to visit. But I was so confused because, like, why stand before God and take those vows? And it made absolutely no sense. But I've seen that more and more with celebrities.
Yeah.
Which I can't really quite understand, but it is what it is. But
I think it's ego and attitude on that level, because they reach that level with a certain ego and attitude, and they don't know how to suppress it or give in to another ego and attitude.
Or losing their identity.
Yeah,
as
losing their
this
identity.
person. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but once again, why take the step to even get married?
I have no idea.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And like I said, I'm gonna need somebody to come on here and tell me why and how that's even a thing.
Yeah,
I don't know who raised anybody like that.
Leave a comment. We'll be on you. This will be on YouTube. Leave us a comment, and we'll go back to this next week. But I'm just curious to see how many people really think like that.
Yeah, I hope it's not a majority.
Yeah,
Tell you that.
Well, you might be surprised.
No, might be. I think I will be.
And I think it's sometimes the younger generation. We're in our 40s. I think that younger generation feels like that. Honestly, it might be some people our age, because I do know that BC, going back to Byron, he's happily married. Let's go there. Beautiful wife, beautiful children. But he actually had said that on a pod. Like, he didn't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I
can't get in it.
I can't even go to sleep if he's not in a bed. So let alone living in a total separate house from me.
And I can't go to sleep if she goes somewhere and I'm not there, or like if I'm waiting for her to come home, I can't go to sleep. So
I can't even imagine.
How would I be able to function like that? And this is our personal opinions and our personal situations, but that goes to, I don't know how they would do it. I just really don't.
But also, like, taking those vows. And speaking of taking vows, we did renew our vows on Sunday, which was absolutely amazing. We've been married, like I said, for 16 years, going on 17.
July 25th.
And it was absolutely beautiful. So, but like I said, taking those vows in front of God, and the husband is the head of the house.
Yeah.
So how is he just, in this situation, is he just the head of the house that he lives in? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. I want to know where that idea came from. How was their upbringing? And you have to show me or talk to me to help me understand what you saw as a kid, or what you were taught, how you were raised, about the upbringing of the separate household marriage,
or what they actually consider marriage.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I cannot wrap my mind around that whatsoever.
No, I can't either.
So I would, like I said, make a comment under the chat or whatever on Insta or on YouTube. Let us know. But
yeah, please, you can leave a comment on the Instagram. You just made me say it. You can comment on the YouTube page and put it up under the video, and we'll be able to read it and answer it. But just going on, it kind of has something to do with this. This is kind of related, but it's a saying here that I wanted to read. Falling in love is easy. Falling in love with the same person repeatedly, that's extraordinary. It's not just chemistry, it's commitment, it's understanding, it's patience, growth, forgiveness, and choosing them every single day. Even when life gets messy, that's a love most people never experience. So that can be tied in with that situation. Yeah, that's
marriage in a nutshell right there to me.
That is definitely marriage. So we have to figure out how to get to that point from that separate household marriage to tie everything together. So that's where we will be picking up next week. So I hope you got your thinking caps on. We left you with something to think about, something to ponder about, and something to answer when we go next Thursday on the chat, Facebook Live. So 7:30 p.m. Thursday. So we can answer these questions and give us some subjects that y'all want to hear. If you got some questions, independent questions that you want us to answer, go ahead, shoot us in the chat on Facebook on next Thursday. That wraps up episode number 2.
Yay.
Babe Boo did a great job.
Okay.
Sorry. But thank you very much for listening and watching to another episode of You Plus Me Equals Us. We will see you next time. We will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel so you can watch every episode, and leave us a comment on the comment section on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Coach E, Game for All Seasons. Type that in the YouTube search bar. You will see the pin on there with our picture, and click that to watch every single episode, as well as Coach E, Game for All Seasons, the other podcast. But with all that being said, we are out of here, and we will pick up where we left off next Thursday. See you in a minute.
Peace.